Have you been getting any flood stuff?
I haven't talked to anybody about turning in a claim yet. We've gotten quite a few requests for flood insurance. But one of my employees might have, yesterday in the past couple of days. So, I mean, I think most of the flood insurance we have is kind of in this area, and so far so good there because as far as we can tell, I mean, this is going to be our high water mark here in Bay City today. And I don't think that that's going to affect the Collin that much, that water that comes around, but I know they're suffering in that Saginaw area right now.
Boy, you said it. Okay, we are live on YouTube, so I'm going to start recording, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Dave, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Deborah?
Really good. So I'm here with Dave Dyke from Growers Choice Insurance, and he's also a Melaleuca distributor, right?
I wouldn't call me a distributor. No, I'm more of an educator and an advisor.
Okay. So, and I just ran out of detergent and I had to go get some. I'm going to talk about that for just a minute, but we can't really say the name, right? But I already did.
The wellness company.
It's a wellness company, but I already did. Shame on me.
You're all right.
Okay. So I ran out of detergent and I bought another brand that was supposed to be pure and everything, and it didn't clean as well. So I tried another one. It didn't clean as well. And then I found one that cleaned as well, but it didn't smell very good. So I went back to the wellness company and I won't change again. It's the best. So if you want more information on that, contact Dave on Facebook and he'll hook you up. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
You know what it's called. Okay, so Dave also owns Growers Choice Insurance. And boy, things are booming in that area right now, aren't they?
Yes, it is. Yeah. I mean, it's an exciting time. It's a scary time as well, but a lot is changing in the industry along with a lot of other companies. And there's lots of things going on in the state of Michigan for sure, let alone nationwide.
Right. So I've been kind of interviewing people, asking them how it's changed from before all this happened to what they're doing now. And then looking forward, what are some things that you implemented over this time period that you're going to keep that maybe you kind of liked?
Right. Yeah. So as far as our insurance agency goes, I mean, there are 7 employees that we have in our agency here. And once we, received the governor's orders that we needed to close down and limit exposure, that type of thing, I mean, we followed them. We've locked our front door, but we've always had somebody here at our agency for service, answering the phones. And what we're doing here at our agency is obviously the phones and the internet and everything is still working. So we're taking quote and service requests over the phone. And if somebody needs to come into our agency, then there's somebody here, if we need to accept a payment, or when there's somebody actually has to come to our location, we are doing that. But what we've done here at our agency is we're taking turns coming to the office, and on the day that we're not in the office, we're working from home. So, thank goodness for technology. And as you and I were talking about earlier, it's not always perfect. But,
yes. So
yeah.
Luckily we had some place to go live.
Yes, definitely. Right.
So luckily you have a big office. So even when everybody does come back, you can social distance without too much trouble.
Yes, yeah, we are blessed here. We have a large building. Each employee has their own office. And so that's not always the case with a lot of insurance agencies. But when we picked up this building back in 2010, we liked all the space. We love the space. And so
it is so nice.
Yeah. So when somebody comes in the front door, we actually have a partition area with see-through glass on each side. So it worked out perfectly for what we're experiencing right now as far as keeping us safe and our customers safe. So all we have to do is, crack the door or the glass window open a little bit. And so we're really helping limit our exposure and our customers' exposure with what we have here at our office.
Right. So the only thing you've really had to implement is your work, who's in the office at the same time, like you're not all there at once right now.
Yeah, yep, especially for servicing existing customers. It has been a little bit of a challenge for going out and trying to help new people, because usually, you like to meet the person that you want to do business with, but
Right.
you can, as you know, with Zoom and other things like that, and internet and phones, it's all something that we can adapt to.
So has there been something that you've implemented that you've really liked?
Yeah, we had access in the past to a program called EnsureSign. Basically, it's a way for customers to sign documents electronically. And we always try and meet with our customers as much as we can, but when we're obviously in this situation forced not to meet with them, it has worked really well. And so all we do is, if there's a document to sign, something like that, we just scan the document into the system and email it to them, and they can sign it electronically very easily on their phone. So that's a time saver. So and
Yes.
a lot of customers appreciate that too, because even prior to the pandemic, everybody has a busy life. So that's something that we'll continue to do. And a lot of our insurance companies offer something similar to that as well. If you have a policy with company A, you can get set up to receive documents electronically and sign the documents electronically, and it's a big time saver. And you save a lot of postage that way too.
Right. Yes, not to mention gas and mileage and all that, because all that adds up. So that's very interesting. And I noticed since the pandemic started, there's documents that I've needed to sign, like for my teaching, that they sent me to sign like that. So that's pretty good. I think that will become more prevalent as we go on. I think so.
Yes.
So when you haven't gotten the orders that you can reopen yet, have you?
We have not. From what I understand, next week, I think we're going to be able to meet by appointment. From what I
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
on the 26th, I think that is.
that sounds correct. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Obviously, they still want us to be safe and follow social distancing, but officially, I believe that our door can be unlocked, and those that want to come in by appointment can do so.
Right. And I feel like that's the case with my coaching as well. I'll be able to do it by appointment. So are you going to wear a face mask?
Yes, I am. Yep. And we'll offer them to our customers as well. We've got some face masks ordered. I'm thinking that most people have their own mask anyway. And so, when somebody comes in, especially if they're wearing a mask, we're going to respect that if we need to. And the way our office is set up anyway, with those glass partitions,
Right.
technically we really shouldn't need to wear one. But from what I understand, I know in our county, there's a website called reopenbaycounty.com, and there's going to be a list of things that we as a business owner has to follow there. And
Right.
so I've got to study that yet, because all this information
Yes.
is so new. But
And they're hiring people to make sure that businesses are compliant. So that's kind of good for the workforce, I guess. Some
yeah,
people are going to have jobs.
right. Obviously, our mission is to transfer risks, our customers' risk to an insurance company. But if there's a way that we can limit risk and limit exposure, we're all for that, because we don't need people getting sick. We don't need people having meetings, that type of thing. If we can do all we can to have prevention, instead of having a policy in place that pays them when there is a problem. We'd rather go the prevention route first.
Yep, I don't blame you. So, do you see this affecting your business going forward negatively at all?
I'm hoping not. A little bit of concern that we have is, the other end of this, the economy. Obviously, people will need to have some income to pay for their insurance policies. So as long as our economy gets up and going again and people are able to get back to work, then they'll be able to afford their insurance policies. But if not, then I'm sure we're going to have some cancellations, unfortunately. But there are a lot of insurance companies are reducing rates and giving credits based off of, there's not as many people driving out there and having accidents. So that's a good thing. There's a lot of companies too that offer a tracking program that if you're not driving as much and you're a safe driver, you get a discount on your auto insurance. Coming up here in July, there's going to be an implementation of our new auto law here in Michigan, and we expect that most everyone will have to pay, or at least give the opportunity to pay less in premium by limiting some of the coverage that they had. So we're getting geared up for that.
Right. I remember when I first moved here from Ohio, I went to get my license. Well, it was my birthday, so I had to go get my license renewed and plates and everything. And she had to have proof of insurance in that state, in Michigan. And so I went to the car. It was raining and yucky, and she said, "Oh yeah, we can just transfer it over and to another state." And I said, "Oh great." And then she came back on the phone and it was double what I was paying in Ohio. And I went, "What? There must be some kind of mistake." No, I said, "It's the same car." And she said, "Yeah." And then she explained to me. So that's pretty amazing that will be different. And it's going to be curious to see how many people are going to take advantage of that. And there's advantages and disadvantages, but it will help people. The people that can't afford insurance will be able to get some kind of insurance now.
Yeah. All the companies have kind of revised their rates. There's a big portion of the policy. There's a catastrophic claims association that everybody receive this charge on their car regardless. And that, from what we can tell, that part of your premium will be cut in half or more. And so I'm thinking almost everyone will see some type of savings, even if you just continue on with the coverage that you had before. But then there'll be
good.
Yeah. So then there'll be a whole lot of options for you to start to, well, if I have health insurance and I've got a really good health insurance policy already, maybe I don't need to have full medical coverage on my auto insurance. And so by limiting some of that, you can reduce your premium if that's what you want to do. But if you want to keep that great coverage that's available, you can do that as well. So there'll be a lot more choices.
Good. So remember that. What month is that going to go into effect?
That's July 1st. Yes.
Okay.
And typically what the companies are doing is they won't necessarily require you to do something on July 1st, but when your auto policy comes up for renewal, that's when you'll get asked a lot of questions about, hey, is there something that you want to change? If not, it's going to revert back to this, which changed.
Okay. What if I wanted to change it on July 1st, but that's not when my policy's due to change?
You can do that. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. July 1st comes along, you can call and we can make some changes. Yeah.
Good. So remember that if you live in Michigan, I don't know, I don't want to talk for other states, but that's something that you might want to consider, especially if this whole COVID thing has influenced your financial situation at all. So just keep that in mind, because you don't want to be without auto insurance ever, right?
Yeah, yep. It's not just the value of your vehicle, it's the liability that, you're driving around with a weapon, basically, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, we fail to look at that sometimes that way, but that's the truth, isn't it?
It is, yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, there's a lot of damage that can happen to bodies and property when it comes to an automobile, and it's just one of those things that who knows, maybe it'll all change years from now when we all have autonomous cars, and that might be a good thing, and we'll have lower rates then.
Right. Yes, that's very true. They're testing them now, so that'll be interesting. So, and you are in the business of taking the worry out of things like that, out of accidents, and not only driving, but in your home and whatever. And so that's important to you. So you don't want somebody worrying when you can give them peace of mind.
Right. Many of us have, worked our whole lives, even young people, to have an accident happen that can affect your livelihood the rest of your life. You don't want that to happen. I mean, nobody wants to pay insurance premium. I don't either. But I certainly don't want to be left with no savings or no retirement when it comes to something, especially if I'm at fault. For anything that might happen in an auto accident or at your home, or if I were to say something wrong on Facebook and somebody would sue me because of that. I mean, there's, the type of world that the legit.
Don't be giving people ideas.
Oh, it's not me. It's those darn TV commercials. So we'll blame Lee or somebody like him.
Right. So insurance is an interesting thing, because it's one of those that you can't live with the payments and you can't live without the insurance. So it's good to have somebody that you can trust be your insurance person. And I highly recommend Grower's Choice and Dave Dyke as one of those peoples, because people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And that's why it's important to me that you get to know him, because I know, like, and trust him, and I highly recommend him. So if you are looking for insurance or want some healthy alternatives to what you're using in your home, he would be the person to get a hold of. And I'm going to let you give all your contact information the way that you want to be contacted here in a minute. But how's everything at home going? Any big changes there?
Yeah, I've learned to like homemade bread. That stuff is amazing. It's kind of fun to see what comes out of the box every day. We try different recipes, and our eating out budget has been amazing. We haven't spent a dime on eating out. Everything we're making at home. So I'm getting to know my family again. I really kind of like it, because
it is. Those things are wonderful. I hope that everybody's taking advantage of those same things.
Yes, yeah, it's and we talk to our neighbors more. So I mean, I've talked to my parents and even my family members more in the past 2 months than I have probably in the past year. So it's really good to kind of get reconnected with them again.
Everybody has more time.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you're still running, I assume.
Yes. Yep. As much as I can, and that too. I being working from home, I've got a little bit more freedom in my schedule to get in some exercise. I mean, that's so very important. I mean, it's part of building up our immune system is making sure that we have that exercise.
That's right. That is a major part of it. So, so why don't you tell everybody how you would like to be reached?
Yeah. So, I mean, you can find me on Facebook. My name is David, and the last name is Dyke. That's Duyck. You can call our office. Our office is located in Coquitlam. That's just north of Bay City in Michigan. And our toll-free number is 800-768-9377. My cell phone, which never leaves my side, is 989-252-4212. And before we close, I got a short little commercial what we're offering our customers. Anybody that requests an insurance quote, we're giving them this free reusable shopping bag. And we actually have some wellness gifts in here from that company. So
Nice.
yeah, this renewal lotion is amazing.
Is wonderful. Yes.
Yeah, but they even have hand sanitizer too, which is kind of hard to find. Who would have thought that, right? And disinfectant. So it's been a lot of fun helping people get hooked up with this wellness company because they're on top of things. So
Very good. Yeah, that's excellent. So, and I highly recommend that wellness company too. So, I am so glad that we got to spend a little bit of time today because usually I see you once in a while and I haven't seen you for weeks and weeks, months now, as
mhm.
I haven't driven. My car has not left the garage since all this happened. I've been very fortunate that my husband's been doing everything. He's the one that's still going to work every day. So to limit our exposure, he's also been doing the grocery shopping and
Yeah,
all the driving. The first time I left was to go get plants for the garden.
nice. Oh, that's
Yeah,
great to have a supportive husband that's willing to get out there.
you said it. It is. So again, Growers Choice Insurance, Dave Dyke. He's a great guy. He's recommended by W4 Divas and me personally, Deb St.Hilaire. So thank you very, very much, Dave. And hopefully I'll be able to see you again soon, even if it's half of you.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. You take care.
Yeah, you too.